Thank you very much. Yeah, David Haye's got his breath back after doing a lot of talking. You both did, you and Audley Harrison, during that news conference. It's going to be a lively build-up, obviously, but in the cold light of day, why exactly did you take this fight, David?
Everybody wants to see it. I get more emails and messages wanting me to fight Audley than anybody else in the world. I get more people wanting me to fight, more of the British public wanting me to fight Audley than, because that's who they know. They've seen Audley for the last 10 years since the Olympics. He's a household name. So people, they really genuinely want me to destroy him. Because they've heard him piping up in the press. They know what I've achieved. They've seen what I've done over the years, representing Britain in the best possible way, winning unifying the cruiserweight division, going over there to Germany to win the heavyweight championship off the big Russian. So I've done my part. He hasn't, yet he's piping up, and people get sick of that. Nothing worse than someone who hasn't achieved anything trying to drag me down, and, trying to taint my name. So people do not want him to carry on boxing. They want me to be the one to close the show on him.
I mean, there seemed to be no love lost between the pair of you. I mean, that wasn't just for the cameras, but where did all this ill feeling start?
I think it's just jealousy. He's seen me achieve my goals. He won the Olympics in a blaze of glory. He said he was going to be the heavyweight champion. He said he'd be the British champion in 5 fights. He said he was going to be the world champion. He hasn't achieved any of that. He's just talked a load of nonsense. He got a deal from the BBC. He fought as many bums as he could fight. He just pretty much stopped boxing on the BBC. He was pretty direct responsible for stopping boxing on the BBC. And I think people sort of hold him responsible, as they should. And I think, he's a bit of an idiot. He's a guy who he's delusional. He truly believes he's going to beat me, and he's never done anything in his career to suggest that he can do that. And it's for me to show the difference in class between the heavyweight champion of the world and a European champion, which is what he is. That's the best he can claim, is he once won the European title. That's it.
This is heavyweight boxing, David, and one punch can make a difference. We saw that
one punch for a good fight, but I know his fight. I know when he's effective. I know what makes him effective. I know what makes him a good fighter. On his day, he can be. I know what attributes he has that's made him successful to a certain degree, and I know why he's fallen down in other parts. I've seen him. I've trained with him. I know what he's like. I know what he's like mentally. And he's going to be unprepared for what I'm going to bring to him on November for him. He's never been in the ring with someone with 10-ounce gloves on, like I'm being on, no head guard. I've sparred with him with big 18-ounce gloves on. He's wore a head guard, and he did not enjoy the experience one bit.
What I'm saying is to you, I mean, I can see what you have to lose here. I can't see a whole lot that you have to gain, bar the exposure that this will all generate. I mean, it would be like a Floyd Patterson, Sonny Liston kind of scenario. Heaven forbid if you were to lose this fight, you wouldn't want to show your face around town, would you?
I'm not even considering the possibility of losing this fight. I've worked too hard. I've done too much, amateur, professional, the cruiserweight, the heavyweight. I've done too much to lose someone to the caliber of Audley Harrison. No way in a million years. I'm only going to beat him. I'm going to humiliate him. I'm going to destroy him, and I'm going to retire him.
But is it not a bit? He's got nothing to lose. He's not like you. This is one chance. One chance at glory. He's had all this abuse over the years. All this vitriol poured on his head because, as you've said, he's failed to fulfil what he said he would do. Is he not that little bit more dangerous because this is his?
Whoever fights for the title always comes in 10, 20, 30% better. They can take a shot 20, 30% better than they normally can. They've got that much more endurance. They've got that much more stamina. Everyone seems to raise their game when they fight for the heavyweight title. I'm used to that. I've been the cruiserweight champion of the world and the heavyweight, and I know when anyone fights me, they're always better. No matter what fights you've watched them, they always come in that bit better. Watching John Ruiz's fight before me, than watching him when he was in there in the ring, he was better against me than he was his previous fights, because I know everybody raises their game when it comes to it. So I'm expecting the best. I'm expecting Audley plus 50% on top of that, and even still, he hasn't got a chance. He hasn't got a chance.
On the home run, do you think, early doors? Is that what he's going to try and do?
He could try whatever game plan he wants. He can try steaming into me. He can try trying to outbox me. He can't beat me. There's nothing he can do to win this fight. I cannot see it whatsoever, because I'm going to train harder than I've ever trained before. I'm going to be faster than I was in the Ruiz fight. I'm going to have better reflexes than I had in the Value fight. I'm just going to be better all round for this fight than I've ever been for any of my other fights. So you put that into the pot, and it just equates to Audley getting violently knocked out.
Did you need a fight like this? Did it need to be something kind of personal, to get yourself up for it, because it isn't a Klitschko fight?
Yeah, when I had a when I did the press conferences with, say, John Ruiz, my last fight, he just came over. He sort of sharp. He was here he was getting his money, and he was just here. You knew he was going to train hard. You knew he was going to get himself in shape. But I didn't get that extra spice in there. So in the gym, I've got to whip myself up. This time I have to whip myself up. I can't let Audley beat me. When I'm in the gym training, I'm going to put in twice as much as I normally do, because the humiliation of even not looking good against Audley Harrison is a no-no. Can't allow that to happen. So I'm going to need to be better than ever for this fight.
Okay, finally then, you hit the big 3-0 next month. You've given yourself maybe another year or so left, in professional boxing.
Of a year. A year.
I mean, this Klitschko fight's fallen through this time against Vladimir over maybe TV rights and that sort of thing. What hope do you have that after this you can get it on with one of them?
He'll realise how much money there is to be generated from fighting me. He'll realise he gets no credit whatsoever from fighting some guy who's got asthma and some Sam Peter who's been exposed to sort of a very moderate level. So he's going to have to come back to the table and he's going to have to talk sense, because if he's not, he's just going to miss out on a huge payday, and that's the end of his story.
This is the first all-British world heavyweight title fight on these shows since Lewis Bruno back in '93. Is it going to be as eventful as that one? A few twists and turns, or not?
He's not going to have as much success as Bruno had that night. Bruno had a good night. He raised his game. After Lennox smashed Razor Ruddock. He had, Lennox was on a high, and obviously Bruno raised his game, and he actually gave Lennox a couple of problems, but Audley isn't going to give him any problems. I'm not going to allow that to happen. I think maybe Lennox took Bruno a little lightly for that fight, but he still got the job done. Knocked him out in 7, I think it was. I don't think this fight's going to go 7 rounds. Audley doesn't hold his shot that well. He won't hold any of my shots, that's for sure, to let the fight go that far.
There's some build-up though, isn't it? We can all enjoy it. I think
he's going to keep talking. He's going to try and he probably will try and convince. He's quite good with trying to convince people stuff. He's been trying to convince people he'll be heavyweight champion of the world for the last 10 years. People have got kind of sick of it now. But here he goes. He gets his opportunity now, but he won't be able to do anything with it. He's just going to get exposed once again, and I'm going to destroy him.
Okay, good talking to you, David. Yeah, always good to see you. It's one to look forward to, this one, and I guess, come November the 13th, you'll expect to be still the WBA heavyweight champion of the world.
Still heavyweight champion of the world.